All right, so we got a bunch of news and updates to go over. First and foremost, we're going to be talking about Cyberpunk 2077. We've got some official updates from CD Projekt RED about the future of this franchise and where it's headed, of course. And then we are going to be taking a look at some other open world games here that are coming up, including Saints Row Reboot. I'm quite curious about this one still. We're going to be getting a big full-blown customization demonstration very, very soon. Apparently this game has the best customization ever for characters, cars, whatever, but we're going to be getting that demonstration soon. I'll talk about that more in just a moment. Plus, Dead Island 2. You guys may remember this game was stuck in development hell. Well, apparently, according to new rumors, it's coming out much, much sooner than expected. I'll talk about that as well, but we're going to be taking a look at, of course, Cyberpunk 2077. Let's get into the official news, shall we? So it says this. In a recent earnings call, investors and analysts directly asked CD Projekt's management whether or not the multiplayer game had been canceled. The game executives played coy and dodged questions. But let's see what they had to say, okay? So the question was this right here. It says, the second question, you've recognized a write-off on Red Engine with regard to multiplayer features. But on the other hand, during past conferences, you said that you were going to work on online elements in Cyberpunk. Does that mean you've given up the development of online elements in Cyberpunk? Wait, great question right there. A lot of us have been wondering this constantly, if we're going to be getting a second expansion that's going to be single player, or if they're just going to go all in on online, or if we're going to get a second expansion at all. But anyway, here's the answer. It says CD Projekt Group President Adam Kinsey says this: I'll take the second one. We're now switching our multiplayer activities from Red Engine to Unreal Engine 5. Having signed a licensing and partnership agreement with Epic, we gained access to multiplayer solutions available in Unreal Engine. So yeah, I thought this was happening. I mentioned in a previous video to you all. Now that, of course, CD Projekt RED has partnered with Epic Games, they would now be able to take full advantage of the multiplayer knowledge Epic has and use that with Unreal Engine 5. Would not make sense for them to use that knowledge for Red Engine 2, of course, but let's get into this further. It says, so as a result, we abandoned further work on adding multiplayer features to Red Engine, and the corresponding to date expenditures were reassigned from fixed assets to other operating expenses. So, Red Engine in this statement to me is Cyberpunk 2077. Is anything, I guess you would now say, older in the CD Projekt RED library. They're looking to the future. They're looking to Unreal Engine 5 games. That is going to be, of course, The Witcher 4. We're going to just call it The Witcher 4. And then, of course, Cyberpunk 2. But what does it mean for Cyberpunk 2077 exactly? Well, let's go back to the job listings because those have also been updated corresponding to this news. So check this out right here. Online multiplayer, they still have jobs. They have a QA engineer. They have a software engineer for online and multiplayer as well. But interestingly, they have moved the multiplayer programmer to this section here for the Witcher series and Cyberpunk 2077. So they also don't have details specifying that there would be modes and things like that. But to me, I would not hold your breath whatsoever when it comes to multiplayer coming to Cyberpunk 2077. That statement about the Red Engine sounds like they are more interested in developing Unreal Engine 5 games. And if multiplayer ever did happen for Cyberpunk, it would either come from Molasses Flood, that's a studio underneath CD Projekt. They're working on something, it appears, that could be cooperative centric for Unreal Engine that is either built in the Cyberpunk universe or the Witcher universe, or multiplayer will be happening, of course, for Cyberpunk 2. So that makes sense to me. But yeah, this parallel development thing for CD Projekt RED is becoming more and more important to them because they are going to be focusing on Unreal Engine 5 between two AAA titles. And of course, anything multiplayer that's developed there, they're going to want to share that knowledge between those two titles on one platform, that platform being Unreal Engine. So that's just my assessment. Don't expect anything multiplayer for Cyberpunk 2077. Okay, now let's talk about this one right here. We have Witcher 3 Next Gen, not in development hell. CD Projekt promises. No mention of Russia as CD Projekt reacts to Witcher 3 Next Gen headline. So yeah, Witcher 3 has been pushed. The Witcher 3 next gen update, has been pushed back. So it says the next gen update for Witcher 3 was recently pushed to 2023, but CD Projekt RED wants fans to know that it's not in development hell. Speaking during the developer's latest financial earnings call, a CD Projekt RED representative addressed questions about the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series version being postponed. Let's see what they had to say, shall we? Because I'm also excited about the next gen update for The Witcher 3. Now it says this: when it comes to next gen launch of Witcher 3, there's one comment I wanted to make. I've been looking at headlines around the internet, and one drew my attention. Witcher 3 next gen delayed indefinitely. This sounds like the game is in sort of a development hell. I want to say it's not a fact. There have been a lot of insinuations that we're going to launch June of next year. That's completely not the case, the representative said. The game is going to be finished in-house. Nobody's saying the game is delayed in some monumental sort of time gap ahead of us. So yeah, don't expect this game to be horribly delayed, it seems. So that's good news for the Witcher 3 update. So I guess that should at least excite a lot of you guys about that one, because I know the majority of us just adore the Witcher 3. Now, yes, we got to talk about the Saints Row reboot. I know that it had a rocky announcement period, and they pulled that back. I think they're trying to reassess, and they will be showcasing something very, very big. Check this out right here. We are going to be getting the ultimate customization showcase for Saints Row Reboot on 420. Hey, that's pretty appropriate for this game. And that's going to be on YouTube, Twitch, all sorts of stuff. I'll include the links in the description below, but I'm also going to be covering this as well because I'm still curious about this one. I'm sorry. I know some of you are like, the characters bother me. It doesn't remind me of Saints Row 2. But for me, I'm really very, very curious about these gameplay mechanics because they sound very solid and interesting, and the customization could be really, really cool. So we'll have to wait and see what they showcase. But you're probably also wondering about, hey, Robbie, what about Dead Island 2? Let's talk about that one. So it was stuck in development hell for quite some time. We have not heard about it in an official capacity. It's jumped publishers, they've changed developers, all sorts of crazy stuff has happened with Dead Island 2. But check out this rumor right here. And again, this is a rumor, so just remember that. It's considered a leak. But it says Dead Island 2 might be re-revealed this summer and could release as soon as September 2022, according to Colin Moradi. And the sources, of course, comicbook.com there. So if it actually does release September 2022, I will be completely thrown off and surprised by that one. But we'll have to wait and see. That would be awesome because I'm a fan of the Dead Island game. It's been a long time since I've actually booted that one up. But yeah, more zombies. Hey, I'm for it. Of course, Dying Light 2 has really taken the spotlight currently. Can it compete? I don't know. We'll have to wait and find out. But, on the PlayStation side of things, we have some interesting news as well. Check out this rumor. It says, rumored PlayStation acquisition is bigger than Kojomi Productions, according to Jeff Grubb. So something very big apparently is happening with PlayStation. And some people are assuming that it's not a developer, that it's actually a publisher that is being acquired by PlayStation. But it seems like there's a big war going on right now between Xbox and PlayStation, and I'm honestly excited for that. It just means more competition, means that everyone's going to be focused on quality and bringing, better games forth. So I think all of us will actually benefit from a lot of this stuff. So we'll have to wait and see what happens for sure. But yeah, I think it's time to get into your top comments from the latest Cyberpunk video. So I think we'll take a look at that, shall we? So this was my most recent video right here. Check it out. It says Cyberpunk 2077. Today's news changes everything. A critical update from CD Projekt RED. So let's get into your response about this one, shall we? So basically the video, first and foremost, was an update to that graph they released. And you guys may remember that a lot of people were concerned about this graph, that it appeared that, oh no, that they weren't focused on Cyberpunk 2077 at all. Let me pull that graph up at all. right now, excuse me. And yeah, that graph was completely off. It was a mistake, and they updated it recently to reflect this right here. That in fact, they are heavily focused on Cyberpunk 2077. They're going all in on this big expansion that we are going to be expecting in early 2023, it seems. But let's see what you guys had to say about this. We have paredes, who says, I would really love to see Cyberpunk supported and expanded for years to come. Transmog, more life paths, customize your weapons and vehicles, restored cut content, new content where life paths and choices actually matter, all would be more than welcomed, and I would not mind paying for such additions and DLC. That said, I could not care less about multiplayer. So this news today about multiplayer most likely not coming at all to Cyberpunk shouldn't worry a lot of you guys, you know. To me, it's kind of good news that if, you know, we don't get multiplayer for Cyberpunk, that they're focused on the right things, you know. Then we have this one from CPU Courage. He says, this is how it goes too. He says this: Sunday, terrible news, everybody. Monday, great news, everyone. Tuesday, bad news, guys. Wednesday, excellent news. That's how it goes with Cyberpunk. It's this very weird ebb and flow relationship that the community has with Cyberpunk. I'm telling you what. Then we have Diana, who says this: I really hope CD Projekt RED doesn't end up killing V. I absolutely love playing as V and seeing their friendship grow with Johnny and other characters. Hopefully we get some sort of epilogue to the story in the expansion, which would maybe lead to Cyberpunk 2077 too. Maybe the relic can be turned into a skill tree, creating new abilities for V. Would honestly suck if V's condition truly ends up killing them, as they went through so much just to find out in the end that there's nothing they can do to fix their body from rejecting their own engram. We'll have to find out. What we do know officially about this upcoming expansion is that it's going to be a completely new story. Don't hold your breath for V returning. I'm just saying, maybe we'll see a new character. I don't know. We'll have to wait and find out, of course. Then we have this one right here from Christian, who says this: we discussed, flying and exploring in this world. The first thing we need to fix is the fake structures if you want to encourage exploring. Can't tell you how many times I glitched into a building only to find no way out, or fell to my death because, oops, the bridge isn't a real structure you can walk on. If they open more of the city with the expansion, I really hope this gets fixed because it adds a ton of realism to the game. The current gameplay is more linear rather than open world exploring type of game, since you can't really do much exploring. And that's how so many open world games, in my opinion, have been. And it's just so frustrating. I just wish someone would study The Godfather. I know I mention that all the time, but you can go into so many shops on just one street and interact with everyone there. And it was like different kind of like miniature stories. The one shop would be, you know, legal. The next one would be a front. It was just so much fun for me personally. But yeah, I really wish they would flesh out these open world cities in pretty much most open world games that come out anymore. But yeah, we'll see what they do with Night City. I think it's a great platform to build on. It's kind of weird the position CD Projekt RED is in, given that they do have to move on with Unreal Engine 5. So I'm thinking we'll get one expansion at the very least, everyone. Don't know about a second expansion because I know that they're going to have to invest a ton of time into this Unreal Engine 5. Which, yeah, I'm so curious about this Epic Games and CD Projekt RED relationship. I think, honestly, everyone, it's going to be one of the biggest relationships and partnerships we've ever seen in gaming. So, and it's going to take 5 years or so to really see what's going to happen. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more Cyberpunk and open world gaming goodness. Let me know if you guys are excited about Saints Row. I'm curious. I will be covering it, so look out for videos. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all next time. Take care.